I got some stuff here. I have a lot of things that I've been using on a regular basis, some skincare, lots of makeup, fragrances, etc. So I want to talk about some of my favorite products that I've been loving, and then I have a couple fails that I'm going to sprinkle in there just for the excitement. So I want to dive in and just get started because there's a good amount here. I'm not going to go in any order. I'm just going to pull some things out and start talking. So the first thing that is a favorite is this Valentino fragrance. It is the Born in Roma intense version. This, I have both of them. So the normal version is actually up on this dresser here in that little corner. They both smell amazing, but this one just has much more of a like stronger, sexier, deeper type of scent. It smells a little bit more like of a creaminess to it. I'm not the greatest at explaining how things smell, but if you like anything like Black Opium, By the Fireside, any of those deep, strong scents, you're really going to love this fragrance. It is so amazing, and the bottle is gorgeous. This is like going to be the fragrance that I reach for in these colder months. I love those like deeper, warmer, headier scents during the colder seasons. All right, next favorite, and I'm almost done with it, and I've only been using it for like a month. This is the Kaja Gloss Shot. This color I have is Milk Tea. Look at, there's like nothing left. I'm almost done with it. I've been using it that much. It is so smooth on the lips. It's so comfortable, but what made it so easy for me to use it up to is because it's pretty like sheer. But for whatever reason, this doe foot is so fun, and it really helps collect a lot of product on the lips. It's a beautiful scent, color, texture, consistency. It feels great on the lips. I really love this one. Been enjoying it a ton. I mean, obviously, I actually had this in my Shop My Stash, and I'm almost done with it. I barely used it before then, but I have been enjoying it. It's a really good lip gloss formula. On the flip side to that, this gloss is also from Kaja, and it's not that it's a fail, it's just it's not marketed in the best way for me. This is the Kaja Juicy Glass Lip Oil. Juicy Glass Lip Oil. The packaging is freaking adorable. This is a super sheer color, so the purple doesn't actually come out purple. I love the doe foot. I love these fat little doe foots, but this is not like an oil consistency at all. This is a pretty standard lip gloss consistency. I would much rather have this lip gloss, and this feels more of like an oil hybrid than this one, which is labeled as a lip oil. So, I mean, if you're going to choose between the two, I would recommend the Gloss Shot formula over the Juicy Glass formula. They're both good. This is just marketed as a lip oil, and I don't find the texture to be of an oil consistency. It just feels like a classic lip gloss to me. So I was slightly disappointed by that, but they're both great. They really are. They're both good. Just kind of a fail because I hate when things are marketed one way and they're not that way, if that makes sense. I have a couple things. What do I want to start with? Let's start with a primer. Okay, I know I've talked about this primer before, but I adore it with every fiber of my being. It is so perfect. It works with almost everything as far as any makeup product. This is the Pixi Vitamin C Priming Oil. You can tell how much I love it. It is more than halfway gone. This stuff is so good. It's got that like 3-phase type of consistency. You shake it up and then you just spread it all over your face. I love these priming oils. They're so thin, and then the addition of the oil just makes everything you put on top of it so incredibly smooth. It is like the best thing for me. I don't have dry skin, and I definitely don't have oily skin. I would say I do fall quite midline, but now that it is getting colder out, I definitely notice my skin being a lot more dry or dehydrated, so I definitely reach for oils and just really hydrating type of products, which is why I love this so much. But I even used this in the dead of the summer and I love it all the same. It's like one of those magic products that does everything you want it to plus some. It's just good. Another base product, these are the Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigments. This one specifically is from LA Girl. It's the blue mixing pigment. I've had this for a long time, and now you can finally see how much of a dent I put in it, and that is a lot. Number one, for me, that is a lot of a dent in any foundation, like a normal foundation, because it means I'm using it a ton. I have a lot of foundations, but this is a mixing pigment, and I've gone through a quarter of it so far, I would say. I am very fair right now. I don't go out in the sun, so all of my foundations don't really match me anymore. They are very warm toned, and while my skin is still warm toned, it's very olive, but very fair now. This blue is the perfect thing to mix in with anything. The finish of this doesn't affect the finish of any of the foundations that I use. This has more of like a sheer satin natural type of finish. It's just great. It works well with any foundation that I've been using it with, and I've used any coverage, any finish, any age. I mean, it is a powerhouse when it comes to fixing your foundation, and I love it, and it's super affordable. I mean, this is gonna last you a while too, especially if you're like me and you have to fix everything you own instead of buying something new. Just buy this and then you can wear all your old stuff. I gotta talk about this next. It is one of my favorite things that I've started using quite often. I love lashes, and while I've become slightly lazier, and I think I've become slightly lazier with lashes because I found a really amazing mascara that I love, which I'll talk about next. But these things, these Falscara lashes, I was terrified to try these. They're essentially like the lash extensions that you go and get done, but for at home. I was terrified to put these on myself. I was afraid I was going to poke my eye out, burn my eye, ruin something with my eyes. I'm very scared about ruining my eyes. I'm such a baby when it comes to that, so I was petrified. I've had these for quite a few months, probably even going on closer to a year now at this point, and I have refused to try them because I'm scared, and I don't know why I was being such a baby about it, because these are amazing. I have them on today, and there is something about, I wish someone or the marketing or something could tell you at how easy this is to use. That was another gripe. I was afraid it wasn't going to be very user-friendly, and I just don't have the time to be sitting here for 20 to 30 minutes trying to figure out how to use it. While it does take a little bit of time because you're adding individual little sections of lashes, you're adding the bond, you're adding the sealant, it's still the learning curve. There is really no learning curve. You just pop them on, You can take them off easily and readjust it. I actually did a YouTube Shorts and an Instagram Reels doing this, so if it's up, go check it out. I have all of my like Instagram and TikTok are listed down below in the description if you want to go look at it, but I'm wearing them today. I love them. I think they're really nice. I've worn them multiple times. I've worn them all day and they've lasted. These are a freaking game changer. A game changer. I love them. I feel like I have to talk about this because I absolutely adore this blush, and it is very luxury. It is a luxury brand. It is a luxury price point, but it is an absolutely beautiful formula. This color specifically is stunning. This is my Chanel Cream Blush. This is it's actually called the Lip and Cheek Balm. I don't use it on my lips. I never do. This shade is number 2, Healthy Pink. I have put a dent in this stuff. It is so glossy and naturally perfect looking. I took this with me when I went on my work trip to LA. It's what I wore every day that I had makeup on out there. I wear this on a regular basis. I wear this with just a little bit of concealer. There's something so good about this luxury formula that makes me reach it. It's not super opaque. And I think that's part of the user friendliness about it, is it's really hard to mess up. It's really hard to use too much of it. It's so good. You can get this at Ulta if you like luxury products, or if it's in your price point to afford something that is a luxury price point. You're not going to be disappointed with this, especially if you love cream products. It looks so beautiful and so healthy on the cheeks. There's a reason why it's a favorite. I'll just say that. There's a reason why it's one of my favorites. And side note, if you want something that is a similar formula but way more affordable, a much cheaper price point, but the formula is pretty spot on in its texture, I would recommend any of these half-caked candy paint blushes. I've raved about these for years. I love them. I love every single color they've come out with. This texture, this glossy texture, it really is spot on. These ones though are just way more opaque, so you don't need to like dig your finger in. You just do like a tap, 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 blend it out. Like, you don't need a lot of this. Like, a little goes a long way. You can go ham with this and it's not gonna look like a clown on your face. So that's the only difference between these two, but I recommend them both. It's just whatever you'd much prefer in your price range. I personally love them both. But yeah, another blush that's more affordable, I have it on today too, and I always fall back in love with this one when it gets a little bit colder out, and I don't know if it has to do with the color, but every time I wear it I forget it how natural it actually looks. This is the 3CE Take a Layer Cream Blush. This is the shade Cabbage Rose. It's vibrant red. It is red, like blood red, and it's this really interesting dry cream texture. It is very dry upon first touch and it warms up pretty quickly on your finger, but y'all, that is red. But for whatever reason, this formula blends out so well, and I tend to usually just blend these out with a brush. I love the way these blend out on top of foundations, just because there's a little bit more of like a dewiness to most of mine, so it just it blends out so well. I love this color specifically. I love for the colder days. I feel like the red just looks like you're wind bitten a little bit. And I mean, who doesn't like a good red? Red is probably one of the most natural looking blushes on every skin tone because that's the color your blood is. Like it makes sense. So yeah, I'd recommend any of these colors. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in this brand. I adore it. I actually want to pick up like another, maybe a little bit more of a cool tone color instead of such a warm tone. And this packaging is so freaking cute. It's one of my favorite packaging ever. I think it's stunning and really affordable, a lot more affordable than Chanel. All right, and I have a highlighter I want to talk about, and I don't want to freak you guys out because it is also really expensive, although you can find it at Ulta. It's from Rituel de Fille. It's any of their cream highlighters. This one is called the Alchemist. It's this like very transformative, it looks white on the skin, but when you blend it out, it just has this transformative color. I love these like cream type of formulas. I have this shade, Ice Bow. It's just a little sample, but it makes me want to go out and purchase the like actual full-size version. It has this, I don't know how well you can see it, but I have it on my cheeks today. It has this like blue sheen to it. Oh my god, it's so pretty. One of the best like potted cream formulas that you're going to find instead of like a stick formula. I prefer stick formulas, but as far as like a potted cream formula goes, these are like one of the best on the market in my opinion. They blend really easily. I blend them out over top of my powder after I set my face down, and I have no issues with them staying or them picking up product. It doesn't do that. It just lays perfectly and it blends out perfectly with whatever you want to lay it on top of. A disappointing product. This was sent to me as a contour bronzer, and I don't like it for that. This is the Healthy Glow 4-in-1 Perfecting Pen from Smashbox. This color is a bronzer type of color. It's a little bit too warm for me, so in that, it's a little too deep and a little too warm. So in that sense, it's kind of hard to make this work perfectly for me, but this is such an opaque product and it dries down quite fast. It's really, really hard to get a perfected blend with this using it as a bronzer contour instead of when I use it as an actual under eye concealer. That works way better for me in my opinion. I would much prefer this always using it as a concealer than any other type of way for my skin. So it's the only thing that kind of stinks. It's a bronzer shade or like a deeper tone, so the only way I would ever use this would be as a bronzer or contour, and there's 100 other options I'd much rather use over this one. A bronzer I do love, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but there's something so wonderful about it. This is also from Kaja. It's the Play Bento Blush and Bronzer. I have this one, the shade 01 Buttercup. It is the lightest bronzer, and it's so wonderful. Let me show you the color. The consistency is stunning. The color is perfect for my skin tone. It blends out like a dream. I have it blended out here and it just works. It works so well. It's so easy to use, very user friendly, and I do enjoy that it comes in this little trio. So you get like a beautiful baby pink blush and a really wonderful highlighter as well. If you're looking to cut down a makeup collection or you need like a trio like this is a great option. Highly recommend if you are someone who's very fair skin tone and you're looking for a cream bronzer that will work for you. This is your guy for sure. Another bronzer that just does not work. It's from Burt's Bees, and I was kind of sad to hear that it didn't work out very well. It's the All Aglow Golden Shimmer bronzer, I guess. Yeah, bronzer stick. For me, being fair, I thought this would work because it's a pretty fair looking color, but it is shimmery. Very, very shimmery. I can't do it there, dang. Do it here. You can't even see it. It's too sheeny. It is a highlighter. Now, if you have a deeper skin tone than me, this might be a really, really nice option for a cream highlight. This will not work for me as a highlighter, but I will say, giving it the benefit of the doubt, if you like something that is a lot more natural as far as makeup is concerned and you don't want something pop in your face, this has a really natural sheen to it and it does blend out quite nice. So I would recommend this for someone who has deeper tones that's looking for a more natural cream formula, stick formula highlighter. I'd recommend this. Again, I have it in the shade Golden Shimmer if you're curious, but if you're looking for this as a bronzer, even if you're the fairest of the fair, just skip it. It's not going to work for you. I can promise you it's not gonna work. I'm gonna do another fail. And while it's a fail, I am still using it because I don't like wasting things. I just prefer other options over this. This is the MAC Hyper Real Skin Canvas Balm. I don't like this as a moisturizer. It's really thick, which is okay. I don't mind that it's thick, but I'm waiting for something to be ultra moisturizing when it is so thick. This just doesn't give me enough moisture in a moisturizer. So I find it kind of strange. I tend to layer this with like an oil because this doesn't give me enough. I need it to give me more and it doesn't. But like I said, like I have a dip in it. I've used quite a bit of it. The smell is great. Whatever MAC did with this formula and the scent, with the scent of this formula, it's great. I just wish it was a little bit more hydrating. I don't know. My skin still feels like kind of dry after I use it, or just not hydrated at all. So I really wish there was just a little bit more to it. Unfortunately, I'm still going to use it. I'm going to use it up, but way more moisturizers I love instead of that. But I did want to point out another product from the Hyper Real line from MAC that is like one of my most favorite products that I have used, that I use regularly. It's the Fresh Canvas Cleansing Oil. It looks like I haven't used any of this because you don't need a lot. Like, you don't need a lot at all. I love this stuff, and it is a huge container. This will last me forever. I love this. I love the scent of this. I love how thin of an oil it is. It takes everything off. I mean, like, everything comes off with this. It's so wonderful. One of my favorite products that I've tried this year for sure. Like, without a doubt, this is one of my favorite products I have tried in the year 2023. The best. Let's talk about a couple more favorites, and then I'll get to my last fail kind of in between the rest. So another favorite, when I'm not using any type of false lashes, I have been using this mascara religiously. It's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. Oh my God. This stuff is so good. This has weight to it. Like, this is a weapon. If you threw this at someone, you'd like dent the side of their skull. Like, it is a weapon. There's something about the bristles, the formula, how stiff the bristles are. It pulls and separates every single lash, but it gives so much volume, like out of this world volume. I love this stuff by itself. It's so good. I have so many mascaras to still use to this day, and I have a feeling if this is still something I can purchase, I'm going to buy this specific one again. I know ABH came out with another mascara more recently, but this is like the first mascara they released, like maybe like a year or two ago, sometime during COVID era. It's great. I was blown away. I just opened it one day to try it, and it's fucking fantastic. And I'm not like a mascara girly. Like, I'd much rather just put on falsies and then I look way better. But I will wear just that mascara and I will be totally fine. I adore it. It's so good. Another product that I have been just utterly blown away with, man, it is just so good, and I loved it when I first tried it, but continuing to use this over and over again this entire year, I've just fallen hard for this. It's a concealer from Giorgio Armani, so this is a little pricey, but it is so good. It's so good. I will repurchase this. Like, when this little baby empties, like, it's getting repurchased. It is so seamless and the most skin-like concealer I ever used, and I'm not saying that lightly. I religiously, like, I'll just use these two things on my face most days when I'm busy and in a rush. Like, I'll put some concealer on, I'll dot a little bit down my nose, right between my brows, on my chin, just so that it's not just my under eyes that are covered, like it's a little bit more uniform on my face. And then I'll go in with the Chanel Healthy Pink blush. These are like the only two products minus the mascara from ABH to top it all off, and then some brow products because I don't go anywhere without my brows done, but that's another story for another time. What shade do I have? Number 2. It's the Luminous Silk Concealer in the shade number 2. It's so good. Natural finish, not full coverage, but not sheer either. It just has the perfect amount of coverage without looking like makeup. That's the best way I can describe it. It's so perfect. Yes, it's pricey. If you can afford this and you want to afford it, I highly, highly recommend it. It's that good. It's that good. I'm not shitting you. Like, I don't know how this isn't empty already in the month that I've devoured it. It's really good. On the polar opposite of concealers is one that I just absolutely hate, and I can't figure out a good way to use it. I figured out one way to use it, and it's from Bare Minerals. It's the Complexion Rescue Brightening Concealer. I have it in the shade Fair Birch, if you're curious. This has a very moussey texture compared to the Giorgio Armani, which is just very liquid in consistency and very creamy without being thick. This is thick and it's moussey. So let me do a little swatch of the Giorgio Armani one so you can see. You can kind of see it on the wand. It's just there. Like, it's just lovely looking. And then let me add the Bare Minerals one. First off, I fucking hate squeeze packaging like this. I find it ridiculous. Do you see that? It's just like a blob. And it's a little too pink for me, if I'm going to be honest. It pills with everything. It pills so much. It's pretty full coverage. Shockingly, it is very full coverage. And because it has this moussey consistency, I just don't think it works very well with many products. When I use it under my eyes, it is the most dried up looking under eye area. It looks very dry. It looks very cakey. And it's a thick product. It's a thick, moussey product, so it does not look natural. The best way I have used this is using it before any foundations first, right after her primer. And the only primer that this works well with is this vitamin C priming oil from Pixi. Like, gotta use a priming oil. It's the only way it works. And I think, I think it's because the priming oil kind of thinned out this thick, moussey texture to get it to just work better. Yeah, this is just, if you're not young, if you're not in your early 20s or younger, this is too thick and drying for you. It is going to age you 10 years. Don't buy this. Really disappointing. This is probably one of the biggest disappointments of this year. I'm not gonna lie. This is going to get decluttered because I'd much rather reach and then repurchase this one from Giorgio Armani than reach for the one from Bare Minerals, which is so disappointing because I have a lot of Bare Minerals products that I've tried over the years and I love them. The Complexion Rescue Skin Tint is like one of the best skin tints out there. It's an older product, but it is phenomenal, and this concealer just did not, I can't compete with the skin tint. It's not good. God, it even feels thick. Let me rub the top one in. It feels so thick. I don't know. I don't like it, yeah. I don't like it. 3 more products and they're all favorites. This little triangular sponge from e.l.f. I think it's like $6. This is great. I love these little triangular like fabric sponges for poofs. I guess they are for the under eye. I use it for all of my powders. I love this stuff. I think it's great. I recommend anyone to buy that. It's pretty affordable. So if you're looking for a poof, buy that one. It's phenomenal. 2 more things. They're both favorites. They're both lip products. And they're both on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum as far as price is concerned. I have Valentino, what is this? This is the Rosso Valentino matte lipstick. And then I have the Lime Crime Soft Touch lipstick. These formulas are quite similar. They have that soft touch matte consistency. I actually have this specific one on right now, this color. It's the shade Mauve Motel. This is uber expensive. This is way more affordable. I love them both. I recommend them both. I think they are some of the prettiest formulas out there on the market. I've heard many people say that they adore the Valentino formula. There's a reason why people like these. It's because they're that good. Okay, so this is the shade, what shade is this? 108A. I don't know what that means, but that's the one from Valentino. Stunning. And then this is Mauve Motel. They even look similar. So this is Valentino, and then this one closer to my thumb is Mauve Motel from Lime Crime. They're both beautiful. I love them both. They have very similar like soft touch matte formulas, very comfortable on the lips. They both smell good. They perform amazing. It's just whatever you prefer in purchasing because of the price. Excuse me, I have an itch under my nose. I think this one's like in the teens price, and this one is like $30 some. So this is half the price of this. They're both great. I would spend my money on both of these. I love them both. The packaging of both of them, I also adore the packaging of both. This Valentino one is very heavy, very luxurious. I love the color. It's weighted. I wish it was more of like a magnetic closure instead of just a snap. It's my only thing I wish there was, but it looks luxury. It looks expensive. It's heavy. This is not heavy. This is cardboard packaging, but I love it because it's so fun. It's got this purple cheetah print, this bright yellow holder. it's fun. It's cute, it's fun, it's cardboard, so it's like good on the environment. I love this. I adore this. I love them both. Let me just say that. So I would highly recommend at least one of them if you're interested. I know some people are worried about Lime Crime because of old news, I guess. They haven't done anything bad recently. But I personally love Lime Crime, and same with Valentino. There's a ton of Valentino products that I've tried over the years, and their lipsticks have always been like one of the highlights of things that I've tried. And yeah, they're great, you guys. They really are. So that is everything. That is all my favorites, some fails that I threw in there for you. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.